Welcome to the Sweet Life Coaching Podcast, connecting real people with expert advice to achieve a healthier lifestyle and live a more fulfilling and abundant life. Here is your host, Coach Tavia.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show, the Sweet Life Coaching Podcast. I'm your host today, Coach Tavia, and I have a great guest today that I'm really excited to bring on because this is something new and something exciting that you may or may have not heard about out there. And we're going to be talking today about healing, and we're going to be talking about healing through the realm of using Reiki. And my guest today is Miss Ginger Parker. Hello, Ginger. How are you today?
Hi, Tavia. I'm doing well today. How are you?
Good. Thanks for being on.
Yes.
I brought Ginger
Thanks
on.
for having me.
Yeah. So Ginger, you guys, just so you know, Ginger and I, we've known each other since like middle school, maybe even grade school. No, did we go to grade school together? I don't even remember.
We probably played each other in soccer. I think my guess.
Oh yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, that just dates us, right? We're pretty old, but anyways. So Ginger and I go way back, but long story short, we, after high school, we reconnected. We went through grade school, middle school, high school, and we reconnected in a cool way. I found Ginger as a massage therapist. She was working as a massage therapist. I needed one, and I came across her, I think through Facebook or something, the wonderful world of Facebook. I saw you and anyways, but no, I think that's how it happened. But anyways, about Ginger, why I'm bringing you on, Ginger, and why the listeners want to listen up is because you are not only a massage therapist, but you are a Reiki master.
Yes.
And we are going to talk about Reiki today. And if you are out there listening, you're like, I've heard of Reiki, but I don't really know what it's about, if it's for me, all the things. We're going to answer those questions today. So Ginger has been a Reiki master 14 years. Is that correct? With massage therapy combined?
It's actually been 17 years.
17
Can you believe
years.
that?
I got the number. Yeah.
I've been a Reiki master for 7, but I've been a practitioner for 17 years. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. So not only is she an amazing massage therapist, but she does this Reiki as well. So you can book appointments with her and do both or either one. But Reiki is a little bit different than massage. Actually, it's very different than massage. And so we're going to kind of talk about what Reiki is. And again, I just wanted to introduce Miss Ginger again, and she's an amazing person. And I'll give you all her information if you want to make an appointment with her and do some massage therapist and Reiki with her at the end of this segment here. So anyways, again, welcome, Ginger. Thank you for being here. And I'm going to start off by asking you a simple question, and that is, what is Reiki? Let's just dive right in. Tell the people out there, what the heck is Reiki?
Sounds good. So it is of Japanese origin. And if you break it down, the Rei part of it, which is REI spelling, right? But it's spiritual wisdom. And then Ki is the life force. So Reiki is spiritually guided life force energy. It's a way to spiritually guide that life force energy. Okay. And nowadays it seems a lot of people are being, becoming a lot more familiar with chakras and energy work and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So what Reiki does is it helps to guide that life force energy through and connect with our chakras. So when I was in massage school, right, we had a mantra that stagnation is death, right? And it's, it seems so dramatic, but it's really, really true. And it's true on all levels, right? Physically, if we have blockages, there can be problems there. Yeah. Mentally, right? Yeah. Emotionally and spiritually. And Reiki combines all 4.
Okay.
But being guided by spirit.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to a listener out there who's like, this sounds kind of like voodoo to me. This kind of sounds like witchcraft to me, for a person that doesn't know about it, does it, if you're like, well, this sounds kind of hoaxy to me. Right. So let's take a step back and no, we are not practicing witchcraft. No, we are not practicing voodoo here. This is real energy. So, I always talk about how we are all light. We are all energy. And if you know me, if you've seen me, if you've been a client of mine, you know that I do tap into that energy work as well. Not Reiki, but I tap into your energy. And I always talk about energy. We are all light, water, and energy. And so let's talk about the actual practice of Reiki, because it's like, okay, what you're tapping into, okay. So a person comes to you and says, I want a Reiki session. What does a Reiki session look like? And what would be the expectations, or what would you expect them to feel or see?
That's a great question. Okay. So, what it looks like is that, well, first of all, I'll just take a step back and talk about my own experience a little bit. When I found Reiki in 2004, and I'm sure there are lots of people who can relate to this, where, like you say, energy, I remember all my life feeling energy. And it was very confusing to me. Sometimes it was very clear. If it was a good feeling or good vibe, but then sometimes with negative energy, I didn't know how to deal with it, not realizing that it was there for my benefit. So we have 7 main energy centers, but we also have smaller ones throughout our whole body, which are chakras or energy centers. So when I discovered Reiki, I started to do that on myself, where I was able to focus the universal life force, or that God energy, right? Because they're like little God centers inside of us. And when we feel things, if we focus and listen, we are feeling that in a certain area of our body.
Sure.
And when it is positive, we feel like a buzzing or really happy. It's a good feeling.
Oh, good vibrations.
But if it's a good vibrations, higher vibrations, exactly. But when it feels bad and it's a lower vibration, right? That's when we seek healing. That's when we seek a higher power. We seek God. Or we seek something, right?
Whatever you believe
to
in.
help us.
Right.
But ultimately we want to feel better.
Yeah.
But we want to know, we want to figure it out. We want to figure out, why am I feeling this way? What is going on? And how do I get better? So that is what was exciting to me when I found Reiki for myself back in 2004. And so that's what a Reiki session would entail. Is I ultimately would do it. When a person comes to me, I help to feel their 7 main chakras. I know what each one means. I can explain it. I do explain it to my client, and I help guide them through. I let them know what I feel. I ask questions, and I help them to work through what is going on in their body.
Okay.
Directed by spirit, directed, by the spiritual life force. So directed through and helping to balance, helping to clear, helping to gain clarity. Each of the 7 main chakras, right? It means something different. And when we understand and learn what each of them means, when they developed and what they represent, when we have that, that's the key to understanding what God is speaking within us, and how what we need to know, and how we can proceed and move forward from there.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to pause you for a second there. So a lot of people are like, well, you mentioned the word God. And for the
Okay, fair
listeners,
enough.
yeah, no, just for
Yeah.
clarification. So, everybody believes in different things. And so do you necessarily have to be a believer in God, or can you just believe in a higher power and Reiki still works? Whatever you
Yes.
believe in, right? It doesn't, it just
That's
whatever
exactly
energy.
right.
Okay. I just want to clarify that with people. So it's not like, well, I don't believe in God. I believe in Buddha, or I believe in Allah, or whatever you believe in, there's no judgment here, right? But whatever higher power you believe in, you kind of go there with. Okay. Gotcha.
We all believe in God, or believe in that same entity. We call it by different names.
Absolutely.
So that's one thing.
Just want to clarify.
My Reiki master told me from the beginning is that Reiki is non-denominational.
Yeah.
If you want to use that verbiage.
Yep.
I mean, that's helpful verbiage, I feel, for helping people understand. Yeah.
Right.
It's yes. Thank you, Tavia. That's a really, you said it well. That's the truth. Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah, I just want to clarify that, because even with I have a lot of clients who believe in different beliefs, and so I want to be like, oh, well, if I don't believe in that, so that's not going to work for me. No. This is general. I would say everyone can benefit from Reiki. So here's my other question. So someone comes into you with Reiki, you're tapping into are you using any kind of instrument? Like, are you using anything on them?
That's a good question. So like you said, it is essential to call upon your higher power. That's essential for doing Reiki.
Okay.
But then, for me personally, what I do from there is, excuse me, I use my hands only. And I do incorporate essential oils, because there are different oils that help to activate or calm, balance the different chakras. And so that's what I personally use.
Okay.
There are many Reiki practitioners and Reiki masters who do use instruments.
Okay.
But that is what, I use my hands, because my hands work for me.
Right.
I can feel.
Right.
Okay. What's going on?
Okay, good. Yeah. I just that's a good explanation too. Yeah. Cause it's like, okay, Reiki, you come into you and it's like, what are you using on me to tap into this energy?
Yes.
Right? And you're tapping into your energy. From my own experience, what I know about Reiki is, and I've done Reiki with you before, is I usually feel this sensation of warmth. You're not even really touching me. You're kind of putting your hand over an area, and then you're tapping into that energy and seeing what comes up in your world, if you will. And so it's almost like, you're kind of like a medium in a way,
a
like
conduit.
A conduit. That's a better word. Yeah. You're channeling this information, and I know you did some on me, and you're like, grandma, mom. And I was like, oh yeah. And that was kind of funny at that time, because that was a conversation my mom and I had about some things on that day. Remember, that was kind of funny. And I was like, that's so weird that you brought that up, because I just had this conversation with my mom. So that was, I've been kind of, I've been a believer for a long time, but it's quite powerful. So let me clarify this too. You are not a psychic, right?
No,
you're not a psychic.
I'm not.
No. And most Reiki masters, I wouldn't say, are psychic, but I want to say that I think we all have the innate ability to tap into energy.
I love it. And I love that you said that.
Yeah. And I feel like you are that channel. You have that innate ability. So I do believe not everybody can be a Reiki master. I don't think everybody can. You can take the classes, but I think you still have to tap into that,
Right. Like it's a spectrum, just like everything in life. Right. Yeah. And I absolutely love it, because you're connected. We're so connected, because like you just said, because I was literally thinking about that this morning, and how it is so true that, while yes, everyone has the ability to tap into their own chakras, that doesn't necessarily mean everyone is meant to be a practitioner or a Reiki master and teach other people. That's exactly right. So, but I do feel and believe that, Yes, every individual has been given the ability to tap into it in the way that they need to live their spiritual path in this life.
Yeah. Right.
Because that's really what it's about.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about benefits of Reiki a little bit more too. And like the benefits of going to Reiki, like massage therapy. Most people know what massage therapy is. You go, you're sore, it does move lymph. It's fabulous for the immune system. It's great for the muscles. There's so many benefits to massage. But Reiki, what kind of person, or a person that's dealing with something, what is your ideal client, or why would someone want to do Reiki and consider Reiki? Let's just ask that.
Oh, sorry, repeat the question.
Yeah. So why would someone want to consider going to Reiki? Like, we know what massage is mostly, but why would someone want to do Reiki? Like, what is a typical person that you see?
Yeah, no, that's great. A lot of times there's something kind of on a deeper level, mostly emotional and spiritual, where they've lost somebody, or, there's some sort of a loss in their life, or they've come to a point where there's a block in the road, so to speak. And how do I move past this block in the road, in my path? What am I supposed to do with this? How am I supposed to proceed and carry on and move forward? And also spiritual, kind of existential moments and things where, again, there could be a loss, like a death, or it could be, just something has happened in someone's life where they are really seeking spiritual guidance. Again, sort of a block, just a block in the road, needing to know how to move forward. It's a stuck feeling. However, you don't have to be stuck in order to do it. But I find that tends to be the common thread. That's the thing that people are usually dealing with. Yeah. And I mean, everything starts in our own head, right? And there are so many things. Like you and I have talked about affirmations because, right? That's something that you talk about with your health coaching, and how powerful, right, our words and our thoughts are. And so that is an essential part of Reiki. Once you feel and know what the block is, it's there inside your own body. It's literally inside of us. And so with Reiki, right, we're able to clear, we're able to balance, and then make that mental shift. So it's interesting how it plays out differently in different people. It can manifest itself physically. It can be anxiety and depression, so more of a mental, right? It can be like, I feel so disconnected spiritually. I don't even know, is God even there for me? Or, my higher power, am I worth, it can get into our self-worth. There are so many aspects that can be affected in our lives from life experience and the things that we go through. And so, I think that's the thing with Reiki, is that, it gets into, okay, what is the block? Let's unblock it, and let's work on clearing that. And so I'm making the mental shift. It really can help. And that is a spectrum too, because we, as all of us know, we can completely heal, and things can completely turn around. Or it may be a situation of pushing through and continuing, but how to do that.
Right. So I think a lot of people can benefit from Reiki, in my opinion.
Yes, I think everyone really could. Yeah,
especially right now, everybody's going through a lot. It just feels like a lot of heavy stuff in the world, in general. And gosh, I just, I think everybody could benefit from a Reiki session. But I know, like in my own experience, like I broke down like in tears, like when you've come, and put your hands over me, and I'm just like, where is that coming from? And she's like, there's, you're like, there's some stored energy there that you haven't released. And it's so amazing and so powerful. I do a thing when I see my doctor in Seattle, my Lyme specialist, he does a thing called neurotherapy. Neural therapy. And it's little tiny injections. And what they do is he'll do what's called a crown of thorns, like Jesus, crown of thorns.
Oh, wow.
They call it, and it goes around my head. And so sometimes he will do that when he feels energy blocked in my head. So it's more invasive than Reiki. But same result in the sense of like, I will just bawl. Like I will just start bawling. Yeah. And he's like, let it rise. He always says, let it rise, let it go. And I'm just like, why am I so emotional? And he's like, you got trapped emotions up there. And it's so, until you like, actually experience that, that's the same what happens in Reiki. I'm just going to let people know that's exactly how Reiki I compare it to. Until you experience that release. And then you're just like in almost like a Zen mode. I feel like you get into a Zen mode afterwards. It's amazing. We got to get rid of these blocks. We got to get rid of these energies. Yeah. And that's what Reiki does. And so I know I've sent clients to you, and you've helped some of my clients who I felt like I need their energy undone. I need some energy unblocked so that I can move forward and be a better coach to them and coach them through their habits, their healthy habits, and their lifestyle habits and things like that, So Reiki, it's what's awesome about you and me. We go hand in hand. I feel like we're such a great team.
I do too.
I'm so blessed to have you, on my team.
Likewise.
I like to say, yeah,
likewise.
Right?
Yes, we are the same team.
Totally. And the team is that what we're trying to accomplish is healing, right? Ultimately healing, that's right. Helping others uncover these roadblocks and whatnot. So, excuse me. And so another thing that I just wanted to point out too was with the Reiki, again, are they the same as like massage? Are they like 60 minute hours? Excuse me.
Yes.
Sessions.
I do 60 and 90.
Okay.
2 hours are also an option as well.
Okay.
Because, the massage therapy, if a person really could use a massage, then we can definitely do that. And then also Reiki in addition to that. If a person was to do pure Reiki the whole time, a 60-minute to a 90-minute, depending on how much they would like covered. Okay. For the first session though, I think it's good to do a 90.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that you have plenty of time to cover. And when someone is just fresh on the table. Yeah. Yes. The 90-minute is a really helpful amount of time in order to just really focus on the chakras, feel about what's there, cover what each of the chakras represents, and to get into it. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing that, I was thinking of when you're talking about the times and stuff like that is, a question I think to the listeners might be like, is this like I only have to do it once and I'm cured, or I'm done? Or is this something that I got to do maintenance? Or is this, how often, how frequent do you suggest people do Reiki? Or
it's so personal and individual. It really varies, just like massage therapy itself or any thing. Yeah, because it really does have to do with life path and life progression, right? This connection with the divine and moving forward through our course of life and progressing. And so, really for a time where someone might be going through a lot and really wanting to tackle it and really progress, 1 or 2 times a month might even be good. And then, and if that's a good pace for somebody in general in life, just like a massage or just that's, your check-in or your maintenance, like you say, that can be a really good pace for people. It could be something where you say, okay, I like this. This is good. let me process this.
Yeah.
And let me see where I'm at in another 2 weeks, month, whatever, and then go from there. So there isn't really a one size fits all.
Okay.
But I definitely, for the first, I do recommend at least 2.
Yeah.
So that you're not just left like hanging after the first,
Yeah.
and do a follow-up and then just go from there. Yeah.
Right.
And just see how it is.
Okay.
And what, a person needs. It's usually pretty easy to tell after the first 2 appointments where you need to go from there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I think it's kind of like, going to a chiropractor or, well, just your regular massage or whatever. It's kind of feel it out and see how you do and stuff. But I will say one question that I was thinking of when you're talking to is like, I have a lot of my clients, they see psychiatrists, psychologists, counselors, in addition to me, for their mental stuff that they have going on, traumas, things like that. But this, I want to make sure this is crystal clear. This is completely different than that. Then you go into a psychologist, this is not, we're not saying, okay, tell me about your day. Oh, this is what I think, blah, blah, blah. This is actually doing some inner work, deep inner energy work. Right. And I really want to clarify that because this is like actually some physical stuff that manifests in our body and energies. I don't know if you ever saw the movie. I think it's called Healed. It was on Netflix for a while. Did you ever see that movie?
Ooh, I never saw it.
Okay. It was talking about manifesting your, it was talking about tapping. EFT, emotional freedom technique. And it had several patients on there who had cancer and like chronic illnesses and basically going through the energy work of tapping and Reiki. If you can go back and watch this, it'd be great. It had, I know. I gotta watch. It was so good. And these people got over their illnesses because they released the energy and the trauma because trauma is, that trauma will sit and stew in your body and make you sick. It will. It will. And I know that just from my own experience in the last year that I've gone through, a lot of my trauma that I've gone through. And you and I need to work on some more things with me. I'm discovering,
we're all a work in progress for our whole lives.
Right. Yes. So,
but
yeah. I mean, we all have trauma. We all have shit. I mean, we just do. We just do. As we get into our 30s, 40s, we just do. But anyways, I just want to make that there's a disconnect and a connect there, of the difference in there. So if someone is going to see a psychologist or something like that. No. This is some inner work. This is actually some work, some relieving this energy, like spewing it out, getting it out. Because if that trapped energy, you can talk about it all day long, but if you don't get it out, it's going to manifest in something else. It's going to manifest in disease. It's going to manifest in something else.
Stagnation.
Exactly.
Yep.
Literally. So that's what that movie was about. And it was talking about how healing those and getting rid of those energies, and people were starting to get better from their cancer and they healed from cancer. It was amazing.
Yeah. Yes. And that can happen. And I love that. And isn't that amazing? And, this, that, with everyone, no matter what, I always focus on the heart chakra and love and unconditional love, because that truly is the divine, right? That saying God is love.
Yeah.
And, and that is the absolute truth. And so that is the focus that I go with from the beginning, because it's essential. The heart is also the center. And so, like what you're saying, I mean, God desires for us to heal. I mean, and to continue on our life course and to be able to learn and progress and grow. And so, I mean, there are cases where that is absolutely true, and it absolutely is possible. So, I mean, it is something where, though, I want to just make sure that people understand that while it is possible, there's nothing wrong with any of us if we continue to have to work through things. There are reasons for why we continue to carry things. And it, a lot of it has to do, I believe, with helping one another, having compassion, because yes, as individuals, we need to learn and grow, but then, also community as families and friends and as a community, we also need to learn and grow. So sometimes that is the healing that needs to take place.
That deeper. Yes. I love that. Yeah. Bringing it full circle here. Yeah. I love that. Absolutely. So awesome. Well, I think we got the gist of everything that I wanted to explain to people and share with people today about Reiki. Is there anything you want, last minute notes, anything that was on your mind that you want to share that you think is important to listeners?
I think the main thing to remember is that, again, like as individuals, we are so loved. And that I think that's the main thing that I always want people to know. And that's what I've learned over these past 17 years of practicing Reiki, is that love continues to flow, and that this is just a way of opening ourselves to that and letting it flow through us and heal us and heal our lives. And the only person that we can control is ourselves. And that when we do this type of work on our spirit, on our heart, on our soul, that it just enables us to live a better life. It really does. And it's such a blessing. It's just so exciting because it strengthens us, doesn't it? It just enables us to have that personal power. And just as I've progressed through the years, I've just felt blessed and excited by that very thing, and just the power and the ability to heal my own self, and that extends from us out into the world. But like you said, it is a daily thing. But it's a blessing. It's a big blessing that it is a daily thing, and that we have tools where we can use them to do it every day. So,
absolutely. And Reiki is definitely another tool. And I'm so glad. Thank you so much for being on here today. And thank you for sharing what Reiki is. I hope whoever is out there listening, that if you are not local, I will put a link below where you can contact Ginger, set an appointment with her, local in the Tri-Cities, Washington area. That is where we are located. If you're not, reach out to a Reiki master in your neck of the woods, and try it. Give it a try. If you're out there suffering and mentally with some mental blocks, and you're like, I've gone to my therapist, and maybe you've even gone to a life coach, and you're just like, I'm still not getting where I want to be. Try some energy work. Try releasing that energy and see how you feel. Just try it. I mean, there's no harm in trying it and seeing if you can get that release and off your shoulders, off your head, out of your head. And the thing is too, when we have all those things in our head, they're blocks. They're blocks for other things. And they block us from living the life we want. They block us from creating the dreams we want and doing the things we want to do. So that's the other thing I wanted to point out, is the blockages that we need to get rid of. But okay.
100%.
So I am going to say adios to everybody on the podcast for today. Thank you for being here. Ginger, again, always a pleasure. I love you.
Thank you. I love you too.
And thank you for being here. And again, I'll put the links below. If anybody wants to make an appointment with Ginger, go see her for either massage or Reiki. She's amazing, you guys. I can't tell you how amazing she is. She's my favorite. So, all right, everybody have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next podcast. Have a sweet life. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Sweet Life Coaching Podcast. To learn more about the topics mentioned on today's show, please visit sweetcoachtavia.com.